One of the challenges that managers or leaders or anyone has in coaching is over planning, or coming into this tip or skill wanting to control the plan, micromanage the plan, or managers who come to this point of the coaching process with pre-established or prefabricated plans. This is the wrong thing to do. What we want to do in the planning tip is create synergy with the person, which means we need to collaborate or co-opt a joint plan together. Again, this means the coach has to have good facilitation skills. This means that the coach simply has to do a good job of creating the framework for the plan. When I mean framework, is simply this. A coach needs to create the boundaries, the parameters, or the conditions for a successful plan. So this is the framework for the planning tip. It can consist of goals, resources, time, and other conditions that create the framework for a solution or a plan. Then the coach can facilitate creativity and ideas from the person you're coaching. Now the dilemma, and sometimes a perceived conflict, comes in when the person you're coaching feels like the best solution is a blue circle. Now, a blue circle simply stands for the ideas that they have. We want to hear their ideas. We want to know their suggestions. It's a simple fact that people tend to commit that which they own. And if they come up with the idea of a blue circle, the chances of them completing and implementing a blue circle are much higher than them adopting, let's say, a brown star that represents your idea of as the coach. Now, there's nothing wrong with a brown star. They're perfectly fine. They fall within the parameters and within the conditions you've established. Because again, the coach should be the boundary leader. If the coach has ideas, I think you should lay them out there. But don't force them onto the employee. Let them look at it. Let them study it a little bit. They may prefer the blue circle, which also falls within the boundaries. So coaches, we have to be flexible. We can't lock in to some preformed idea on our part. Keep these words in mind. We have to let the plan emerge and develop through the discussion with the person we're coaching, and not come in with predetermined plans already established, and then be put in a position where we have to force or sell our solution to the other person. That's the wrong way to coach. The right way to coach is to listen to their ideas and maybe even invent new solutions. Now, if the person you're coaching comes with a new solution, but maybe it's outside of these boundaries, out here, then you have to exercise some strong leadership, exercise some control, and explain that this is not acceptable. And try to get this red triangle within the boundaries. This may be something that's workable. Now, a lot of managers I work with and deal with like this, except for this part right here. Maybe this part that's just barely outside of the boundaries. This creates an interesting dilemma for the coach. Do we stretch the boundaries? Do we try to accommodate this plan? Or do we force the plan back inside the boundaries? My own feeling is I like the creativity. I like somebody who can come up with a robust plan, a healthy plan, even if it stretches one of the boundaries a little bit. If it's not illegal, if it's not unethical, I'm willing to help a person adjust the goals, find more resources, stretch the time requirements in order to accommodate and allow their idea. So this step or tip in the coaching process is very interesting. In essence, the coach just needs to facilitate and make sure that the plan is smart. Remember what SMART stands for. S is for specific. M is for measurable. A, action-oriented. Is there action in this plan? R, is it realistic and is it relevant? We need to make sure that's there. And then the timing. Do we have a time frame for this plan? In my opinion, all the coach has to do is ask the right questions. Let the person you're coaching fill in the data and fill in the plan. And then make sure you get a commitment. So get a SMART plan and get a clear commitment. Too many times we think that if we have details in our plan that we have commitment. And I don't think that's a good assumption. Too many times we assume that a rigorous, thorough, well thought out plan means a person's will, determination, and commitment is also thorough and complete. I think we have to ask both questions. And you can see in the diagram that the plan really requires both details, action details, and you have to ask the question directly. Can you do this plan? Will you do this plan? Do you believe in this plan? Listen to the answers to those questions. Sometimes I'm surprised how hard it is to get a clear answer to a simple commitment question.